According to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one faith can be divided into three kinds: goodness, passion, or ignorance. So we have three modes of material nature, and our faith is connected to that. Suppose somebody is in the mode of goodness, their association in the mode of goodness, they get good qualities, and their faith also is like that. But in connection, a person who is in the mode of goodness, he worships devatas. A person who is in the mode of passion, he worships rakshasas. And a person who is in the mode of ignorance, he worships ghosts and spirits. Bhagavad Gita has all knowledge. There are some ghost worshippers. They like to worship ghosts. They believe in ghosts. In a recent survey of whether people believe in some supernatural forces, 90% of the people, they were believing in some supernatural forces. Mostly it is ghosts. The modern science may make as many scientific technologies and tell we are very advancing, but they cannot stop fearing ghosts. So, because they are in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna. There are many ghost houses, ghost haunted houses in European countries. In spite of science, technology, whatever we are progressing, Srila Prabhupada was given one house in London by George Harrison, and there were some complaints on ghosts have haunted that house. Some nuns were there previously, who are dead and become ghosts. So Srila Prabhupada said, you can go and do Sankirtana. Wherever there is chanting of the holy name, there the ghosts have no role. In fact, you are going and disturbing them. If you call somebody to come and chant Hare Krishna, if they don't like, they feel very irritated. You call that there is a puja happening in our house. Not that everybody will like to come and attend, they get irritated. Ghosts don't like the names of Narayana. They don't like Jagannath, they get very irritated. They feel we are disturbing them. So whenever you have fear, you chant Narayana, Jagannath, Hare Krishna, the ghost will run away. So when we trust in the mode of goodness, you have one result. The mode of passion, you have one more result. The mode of ignorance, one more result. When Putana had come to kill Krishna, she could not kill Krishna. Wherever the names of Lord are recited, the ghost or ghostly elements cannot come to that place. Even they are supposed to have come, they cannot affect the living entities who have trust on God. So we are talking on trust today. And the trust here, Arjuna is asking about how to put faith. The chapter name itself is Divisions on Faith, 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And here we are listening, there are three steps or three levels of faith. One is on mode of goodness, one is on passion, and one is on ignorance. So we have to learn things systematically from parampara. If you don't learn from parampara, you will maximum try to squeeze your brain, your intelligence, and try to speculate. Something which you don't know, you have to trust. If a small child asks, how this geographical map, why should I learn this? This is where is Australia, where is America? The school teacher will teach. You see here, this is on the board, and in the board you can see there is, this is America map, this is Australia map, this is Indian map. If the students start questioning, I don't believe it, I will not trust you, then the child cannot progress. So putting faith or trust on the teacher that blind faith is not considered to be any hindrance for knowledge. For knowledge, you require trust, you require faith. The modern scholars or the modern philosophers, when we are discussing, they have stopped thinking that, oh, if you are putting faith means then you are going in the wrong direction. Even Socrates has told that if you have, for practical purposes, you require to have faith. Without faith, nothing can be done in this world. If you tell the airport people that I will take ticket after I don't have trust on you, after I get down I will give you money, they will not allow you also inside the airport. So we have to put some trust in this world, and basically the trust, that faith what you are putting may be a blind faith. So that faith is not considered to be irrational. Faith is not irrational. Especially in science, people think that when we are very scientific, we don't believe in anything. Science actually starts with observation and experimentation. In Newton it's a theory of anthropology. When he explains in the whole anthropology book, he never he always is a disclaimer. He gives a disclaimer. He is very careful in presentation. He only says, I think so, I assume it, like that. Because it's a theory. A theory, once you prove only, it becomes science. When you say something has come from chemicals, you have to prove it. If you are not proving it, like from citric acid, if you can produce orange, then we can believe that from chemicals you are making orange. Whereas orange juice can give a lot of citric acid. The citric acid cannot give us orange fruits. It's a very common sense. In Vedic science, it's full of logics, analogies, and practicalities. It's a theistic science. But the so-called science is based on atheistic philosophy. Not everyone, few people who are very atheistic, they promote the modern science as an atheistic philosophy. Atheistic philosophy is also a philosophy. Just like they are claiming to be very rational because they are atheistic, does not become because they are atheistic they are becoming rational. In fact, they are very irrational because theism is full of logic. Without logic, not even one formula is given in the Vedic science. Whereas we talk about, there are some 10 things in the internet, if you see, there are few things which are not being proved by science. And the first thing is creation. The more things are on space. There are many things the modern common man or a common scientist, they talk about that they have done a lot of achievements on space travel, on technology. Yeah, definitely on technology we have moved forward. That's why we are able to talk through technology. We can record, we have online services. Many things have happened. But if you speak on truth, the real scientist who has done research, if they are going on the airship, the aeroplane, up to the space, they always have a lot of experiences which are out of their control. They feel they are so minute. There are experiences by scientists, by astronauts, who have told how they have got some special experiences. They feel very small. When you are going in the rocket, the spaceship, you can understand how small we are. When we are going in the aeroplane only, we can see our land, our people moving around so small. So we cannot claim ourselves to be so great just because of proving ourselves to have atheistic philosophy. So trust is such an important element which we miss learning in our schools. We trust in our parents. We trust with the barber. He shaves and he keeps a knife under your neck. We are putting trust on him. We have to put trust on everything in this world. But if you are putting trust on a right place, then you will increase the knowledge. If you are putting trust on a wrong place, then you are falling into ignorance. That's why there are three modes of material nature. And in the three modes of material nature, a person in the mode of goodness, he approaches the higher devatas, and in the mode of ignorance, only believe in ghostly life or on themselves in the mode of ignorance. And when you are in the mode of ignorance, you also try to take up lot of unnecessary activities. Like here, it is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 5th shloka, Ashastra vihitam goram tapyante ye tapojanaha, means those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the Shastras. Sometimes they beat themselves, they perform some austerities on their bodily organs, which the Supreme Lord in the heart is sitting in the heart. He also feels the pain. But why these people are so much suffering? They beat themselves. They perform some sacrifices. So we should not be doing such kind of things if we have to grow our consciousness. We have to grow in putting trust on others. If you putting trust on others is not our weakness. If somebody is exploiting our trust, it is their weakness. So putting trust is a strength. These are all good qualities. They are divine qualities. By divine qualities, you get liberation. So only thing is, you have to be in Sattva Guna, you have to be having good association. It is said Shraddha, Srihada, Vishwas. So Shraddha is there, and by that Vishwas, you will get Krishna Bhakti. When you get Krishna Bhakti, then you can move forward. So just having Shraddha is not wrong. When you are having Shraddha, when you come to Bhakti, first is Shraddha. When you are having Shraddha, when you do bhajana, then you come in shelter of devotees, and when you associate with devotees who are of faith, either in devotion or in your school also, when you are going and learning things. First you put faith in your school, then you go, then you trust your teachers, then they teach you, this is geography, this is science, this is mathematics. Then you learn from them because they have faith, and you put faith on them. And this faith keeps on increasing when you are associating with them more and more. Hare Krishna.